and we esteem it a great privilege to stand before you today to talk a little bit about full gospel history. I don't think it's any better way to share with you what full gospel really is, how it began, and what it stands for, other than actually showing you a film. There's a film that was produced a few years ago entitled Free to Dance, and that DVD is available. All you have to do is go to www.fullgospelbaptist.org, and you can order your own personal and private copy of this DVD called Free to Dance. It is the untold story of Bishop Paul Morton and the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship. And so what I'm going to do for a few moments, I want you to just view this film. It'll give you a good grasp of its beginnings and how it is, what the vision was for Bishop Morton to start the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship. Basically, the vision was to bridge the gap between Baptists and Pentecostals. And out of that fundamental vision that he had, he developed the vision to change the generation. So you're going to be seeing some things that deal with all of the friction and the controversy, if you will, surrounding this effort to bridge the gap between Baptists, traditional Baptists, and Pentecostals. So there are key points in the film that I may pause to just expound upon. But even if I don't pause, just pay attention to time 6:44. That's 6 minutes and 44 seconds into it. You're going to see a person by the name of Bishop Andy Luter. And what he's going to do is he's going to talk about the basic polity difference between Baptists and Pentecostals. Then at time 25 minutes and 42 seconds, or approximately, you're going to see in 1992 when Bishop Paul Morton began to transition Greater St. Stephen from a traditional Baptist church to a full gospel Baptist church. So that's a key date in 1992. Very key, at time 29:59, you're going to see Bishop Clarence McClendon. And Bishop Clarence McClendon is really going to share what I believe is the greatest explanation to this whole idea of being baptized in the Spirit with the manifestation of speaking in tongues. Because believe it or not, that was the real point of contention between Baptists and Pentecostals. This whole idea on speaking in tongues. There was not a really, there was no real, I guess, controversy or contention about the other gifts of the Spirit, like prophesying, laying on of hands, healing. That was pretty much accepted in traditional Baptist church. But when it came to the speaking in tongues, that was really where the rubber met the road, and traditional Baptists had a problem with it, because traditional Baptists knew that they were baptized in the Spirit, or baptized by the Spirit. That's the way they became born again. You couldn't become a member of the church unless you were baptized. So they knew they were saved. But the Pentecostals suggested that if you were saved, truly saved, and you were truly baptized by the Spirit, you would speak in tongues. So that was where things really were tense. And so you're going to see this explanation on what it means and who it is that has been given the ability to speak in tongues. And the real issue that Bishop McClendon made so clear is this. It's not a matter of whether you have to speak in tongues as a believer. As the Pentecostals said, you can't be a believer, you can't truly be saved unless you speak in tongues. It's not a matter if you have to, it is a matter that you get to. So pay attention to that area. And then finally, Bishop McClendon really breaks it down. He gives a great doctrinal teaching and understanding of the doctrine of speaking in tongues. And I'm going to, after that portion, or after a good portion, so you get a good idea of what the history of full gospel is, and then I'm going to talk about full gospel flavor, what it is that makes full gospel distinct, talk about the full gospel distinctives, and I will share with you this compendium on full gospel distinctive. There are 2 articles in full gospel distinctives, Article 8 and Article 10, that really explains and settles the issue between the difference between baptized in the Spirit and being filled with the Spirit. You'll notice in your handouts that I've provided for you, and those online, you can have those will be available to you as well. You'll see that the Baptist doctrine and full gospel Baptist doctrine are very consistent, with the exception the full gospel has 2 distinct articles of their faith that explain full gospel. And so I'm going to take the opportunity to share that with you, and hopefully it'll be clear. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, so without further ado,